Okay, guys, so I'm in... You remember Elliot? You guys have to remember Elliot. He's the genius, right? Very, very humble person, but behind this forehead, bink, is pure genius. I don't know if I've ever met somebody as smart as Elliot. When he speaks, it's like poetry. It's true. Yes, and I met Elliot, because he's from Johannesburg, South Africa, through a friend who's an actor. And he's like, you gotta stay with my friend Elliot. And I was like, nah, I'll figure out some hotel things. Like, no, you gotta stay with Elliot because he does a thing called couch surfing. Google it. Anyway, I digress. So I come here with my friend / assistant at the time, and obviously I'm black, and she's white. So that has become sort of the running theme in my experience. It's very different. Now, I went to Cape Town, and I'm doing a lot of talking. We're going to hear the brilliance of this mind very soon. Came to Johannesburg, stayed a night, flew to Cape Town after this, which is like beachy area. It's like really fabulous. Looks like Orange County. Johannesburg for me is more cultural. It's more, there's more obviously incredible history here with what went on in 1994 with some students. I'm just saying. But there's more, I don't know, how would you describe this city in comparison to Cape Town? Just to start with, before we go into what I did today.
The difference between Cape Town and Joburg. Cape Town is beautiful on the outside, but quite cold on the inside. And Joburg tends to be quite lovely in the inside, but quite rough concrete on the outside. So it's, if you can get past the concrete, the people's hearts here are a lot warmer, a lot nicer, more welcoming. Yeah.
Yeah, well, in the aspects of, there's a big colored, I know people in the US are like, what? They have a colored community here in South Africa. I think somebody's coming, and we might just have to just keep rolling. Because we're outside, somebody's coming.
Yeah, it's one of my housemates.
They live in a beautiful area in a beautiful house, which is another interesting story with a lot of housemates. But anyway, I go to Cape Town, and there's this area where there's a lot of colored people now. They're mixed with white, African, Malaysian, some of them are Muslims, Christians, and what else do they mix with? I don't know.
Everything.
They're kind of mixed with everything. It's kind of like the Brazil of South Africa. It reminds me of Brazil because of that mix.
I mean, historically, it comes from the black and white. But I mean, of course that... Yo!
No, we're good.
Oh, okay.
It's one of the housemates. Yeah, okay. Go ahead, you were saying?
There's a running joke that God created white people and black people, and Jan van Riebeeck, the Dutch guy who discovered South Africa, or who discovered us here, invented colored people, and it's because of the mix between the two. We've for a long time since then always had a very difficult relationship with how black and white were not supposed to mix, but yet colored babies kept popping up. Oops, you don't know.
Oops.
So I think from then on, it established what then became known as colored, the kind of in between. But I think that today is a little bit more diverse than historically, because it's then opened up between other forms of mix that happen between different races in South Africa. And we have quite a lot of different cultural groups, ethnicities, so there's a lot of us who are colored.
Yes.
Which is a funny thing, because if you think about what colored is supposed to mean, if indeed it's a mix between two races, what happens when a black person from a different ethnicity and a black person from another ethnicity have a baby? Is that baby black or colored? Where do you draw the line?
Right. So, okay, so I would be considered colored in this society, but in the States, I'm just black. So then, if
When-
we had kids,
when
what
do
would
you-
that kid be?
Who gets called mixed race then in America?
I mean, if your parent is basically